What's up, wild ones? Let's talk about distraction. Let's talk about energy. And let's talk about why the way that we've been doing things is probably not going to get us where we want to go. Yeah? Okay. So last week I dropped a vlog on distraction and how we need to be able to suspend our disbelief in order to really start to manifest what we want. And I was gonna drop another vlog right after that, but it wasn't coming through. Like, it was the message wasn't there. And I try not to just like post shit just to post it, just because, you know, we should. But I want to share stuff that actually gets you into a new way of being, right? This beingness, right? So when we're talking about distraction, and we know that we have to focus. We know it. We're not stupid. We know, like, we get it. Oh yeah, focus, focus, focus. But we still don't do it, right? We still find ways to procrastinate, and we find ways to not only procrastinate on the thing that we know we need to be doing. And I don't mean like society is telling you need to do it. I mean on a soul level. Your soul is like, this needs to happen. This is what we need to be doing in the world. This is what needs to shift in our relationship. This is what needs to shift in our art. This is what needs to shift in our expression. This is what needs to shift in our health, our wealth, whatever it is. Our soul knows. It's there. And we're procrastinating on that thing. And yet, in that same procrastination, we're doing all the other things. We're doing so many things. We are doing so much in hopes that it will allow us to not have to focus on the thing that we know needs to get done. And when this happens, we are distracting ourselves from the soul calling because, right, in great part, because we still aren't in the space of believing that we can have it. And if we are in that space of disbelief, we will remain in a space of distraction, because when we distract, we do not have to face off with the fact that we are not embodying the person that we say we are. Right? You say you stand for something. You say you believe in something. You say that you're creating for a reason. You say that this and this and this. But if we're not truly being that person, and it might look good on the surface, other people might be like, good job, yay, like, you're doing awesome, you're such a hard worker, you're all the things or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Freaking hard worker, right? But you know when you're out of alignment. You know, because you're probably getting bored with your own shit. You're getting bored and you're distracted, and you're usually this really just like, you're passionate and you believe, and you've got this depth, this well of love and joy and pleasure, and it seems like it's kind of like there's some sort of a film, right? Like, you can't quite access it. It's there, you know it's there, but you can't quite access it. And so you're allowing your boredom and this disconnection to lead into more procrastination and overworking on all of the other things besides the one thing that is really calling to your soul. And what happens here is that we've got to shift into a new way of consciousness. We have consciousness that's been encoded in our body and our mind, and we tend to work on one or the other. And we try to work from the head up. I've been talking to a lot of women and men who are really in that space of, sorry, my hair is really itching me because I'm still sweaty because I just got finished running. Oh my God. So I've been talking to a lot of people who have been operating from here up, right? And you'll notice your art, your message, the conversations that you're having, they're very heady, right? It makes sense, it's logical, but there's no yumminess, there's no nectar, there's no potency in it. You're creating art, you're sharing a message, and you're like, I mean, it's good. Yay, right? Maybe even people are like, yeah, this is an amazing message. I love this. I love what you're doing. And you're like, yeah, thanks. It's great. It's awesome. Right? Because you know on a soul level that it's not what you're being asked to do. It's not who you're being asked to be. And so you're operating from here up. And when that happens, you're cutting off your power. You're cutting off your body. You're cutting off sensation. There's a lot of stuff that gets blocked when we're trying to live in just a headspace. And when we try to do this, it's because, like, we've been disconnected, we've gone through trauma, we've gone through drama, and we are afraid to drop back into our body. And it feels like there's nothing there sometimes. It feels like this very nebulous space of trying to operate from a connection to our intuition, from a connection to that really yummy space that allows us to be in our creativity, to be completely unleashed. And if we're in that space of disconnection, we continue to distract ourselves. We continue to stay in that space of disbelief. And so if we want to believe, we've got to be able to allow ourselves to, it's almost like you're taking off the mask. You're taking off the thing that keeps you in that space of disconnection just long enough to experience what you're trying to receive, what you're trying to manifest, what you're trying to create in your life, to experience it on a full systemic level. So this is an integration of all senses, and I mean all 6 senses. So including your intuition, right? We're including that intuitive sense as well. And so we want to feel it, we want to taste it, we want to smell it, we want to like tactile touch it, we want like all of the things. And so what you can do in order to suspend disbelief, if you are just trying to do like, we need like a quickie, right? We just need like, we got to get it right now. Let's say you're driving and you're just dropping into like, like worry or fear or whatever it is. Allow yourself to just breathe and see how many spaces in your body you can start to touch, like on an internal level. Not necessarily with your fingers, you can do that too. But you're just driving and you're just like, you can keep your eyes open because you're driving, right? No, like, let's do that, let's be safe. But just drop in and see, okay, I can feel my thighs, like, right? I can feel my womb, I can feel my belly, I can feel my shoulders, I can feel my neck, I can feel the breath moving in and out of my lungs. And just feel. And that's a practice, okay? And notice where there's disconnect, notice where it feels gray, notice where it feels nebulous, and without judging that, just get into the art of feeling, okay? If you have more time, create an entire environment. So you might run a bath, you might eat like a really juicy peach to like really engage your taste. You might bring in some kind of smell like candlewood, oh my gosh, sandalwood incense or candles or something like that to really ignite that. Play some music to get the auditory going. Really get some sort of like experience of rubbing oil, maybe like ashwagandha oil or coconut oil, rubbing that into your skin, igniting your intuition by tapping into your desire. What is it that you want? Who is it that you want to be? What is it that you're visualizing? What is it that you're calling in? And then really tap into your intuition. What's my next step? Okay, awesome, great. And then don't try to keep going. Don't try to think about what just comes through, right? Allow yourself to connect and notice wherever the disconnection is, without judgment, without ego, without trying to say that it needs to be this way or that way or whatever it is. Just experience it. Experience it on all senses, all the way through your body. What are you seeing? What are you hearing? What are you smelling? What are you tasting? What do you feel? What's that sensory, intuitive sense telling you? And this is a really amazing way to start suspending that disbelief by changing your actual experience in the moment. So whatever the disbelief is, I can't have it because of this. I can't build my tribe because if I try to build my tribe, like what happens if they don't come in? And then this really taps into who we are as creatives, and especially as like these indigo, empath, wild child, gypsy soul, passionate beings. We don't really give a shit about belonging to most tribes, right? We're not trying to fit into society. We're kind of rebels. We don't really care. We want to do what we want to do. We're like these mystic, rebel, creative, wild souls. And so when we really do want to call in a tribe, whether that's for your business, your art, your brand, just a soul sister, soul brother tribe, mastermind tribe, we don't really want to put ourselves out there because what if it doesn't work? Then that reaffirms, right, all of that old encoding in our consciousness that we don't actually belong, that we are weird or we really stand out, and for the most part we don't care. But when we want a tribe, we really do want to fit. And so for the most part we don't really care about being the black sheep or the outsider. But when we really want that tribe, that one tiny little micro tribe, we tend to not put ourselves out there in a way that will call in that tribe because of that old encoding. There's this disbelief that, that we can't actually have that tribe, that we won't call them in. This also goes to, if I do a lot of like sex magic work with my clients, right? If we know the sex magic like that work, that deep encoding of releasing our inhibitions. We know it changes our art. We know it changes our relationships. We know it changes our sex life. We know it changes our intimacy. We know it changes our pleasure. We know it changes our health. We know it changes our mindset. We know it changes all the things, our wealth, our impact in the world, everything. Hands down, if you're tapping into your body and you're dropping into this unleashed way of existing in the world where you're dropping those inhibitions and you're showing up fully, you know it changes the game on all levels. And wow, this is way longer than I thought it was going to be today. But you know it changes everything on all layers and all levels. But what if, right? This is the disbelief. What if I try to be sexy, or I try to tap into my inner sex goddess or my inner sex king, right? That energy, and it doesn't work? What if I try to do it and my relationship doesn't change? What if I try to do it and I don't call in the one? What if I try to do it and my art still sucks? What if I try to do it and I still can't write the book because I can't tap into the muse? What if I try to do it and I'm still the outsider, right? So we don't want to have people like, oh, look at them trying to be all cool and trying to be all sexy and trying to be all like all free, wild child and creative, and right? And we have these fears that come up, and so we don't actually do the work. We don't do the work because we're afraid of what might happen. So that disbelief is encoded that if we try to be sexy, maybe there's something in your past where you were so free and you were so wild and you were so connected and your art was on fire and your love and everything, your sex life, everything was on fire. And someone said one thing to you, right? Like, why, okay, you think you're all that, or you think you're this, and you felt outsider, right? You felt disconnected from the tribe you wanted to be in. And so now you quiet that part, you snuff that part out so that you don't feel that disconnect, right? Because look at the people who are really wild and free, right? They have a lot of people sometimes in their life that maybe don't agree, or they maybe hate on them. And we don't want that. And so we put ourselves into this encoded disbelief, and we don't actually allow ourselves to go in. So we continue to distract and we continue to stay disconnected. So I want you to start these embodiment practices everywhere you can, in every area of your life that you're feeling called to change, because this is the work that will help you integrate. So next time, I'm not going to promise it's tomorrow. It will probably be tomorrow, but I'm not going to promise that we're going to go into this even more, but from a new angle. Okay, so if this resonates and you're like, this clicked, awesome, yes, boom, baby, yes. And if you're like, I kind of get it, then wait for the next one and we'll hit it. We're gonna come at it from a different angle and see if that resonates even more. So if you love this, make sure you are subscribed, turn on that bell so you get notifications. What else? Like this video, you know, because it makes a difference. It helps get this message out to more peeps. And leave me a comment. Let me know how this resonates and what this brings up for you. Or if you're just like, hey, this is what I want to call in and I have some questions about it, then drop me a note down below. And if you know you want to go deeper and you want to go faster and you want to really, really unleash exactly who you are, you want to integrate the amazing emotional, energetic, spiritual consciousness work, the ancient ritual work, with like actually getting shit done in the physical, real reality, like that you feel like, oh my God, I don't know how to integrate, then hit up your girl, because let's get this thing done, right? Yeah, you can shoot me a comment below, or you can just contact me on Insta at Nikka Karli. Just shoot me a DM. All right, guys, I love you. That's it. I gotta go shower. I have a call with one of my mentors, and it's gonna be fire, fire, fire. And I'm so excited because it's gonna help me reach more of you and help you guys even more. And so that's like, okay, I'm really excited. Okay.